इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
हम चले नेक रास्ते पे, हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
अज्ञान के हों अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे।
दूर अज्ञान के हों अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे।
हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम, जितनी भी दे भली जिंदगी दे। बैर होना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले की होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे, हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण।
हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण।
फूल खुशियों के बांटे सभी को, सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन। अपनी करुणा का जल तू बहा के, कर दे पावन हर एक मन का कोना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे, हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
हम चले नेक रास्ते पे, हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना।
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
Hey, are you stuck into the comparison trap? Very few habits are as destructive to human happiness as looking at what others have to do and feeling that you are inferior. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." Besides, since you are like no other being ever created since the beginning of time, You are incomparable, right? Yet in this world of social media and digital diversion, so many of us are spending the better hours of our best days looking at the lives of others and measuring our success by what we see. By the end of this video, let us all try and stay away from this habit of comparing ourselves with others. As a matter of fact, we all begin to compare ourselves since childhood. At that point in life, it was with our siblings, brother or sister, or either with our cousins. But we all realized our mistakes as we grew up, right? Comparison is the death knell in the sibling harmony. All of us compare ourselves to others, and most of us feel frustrated about ourselves. Most often, we see people comparing one person to another person. This happens quite a lot in our society. Today, I am here with a short story that will help you understand why not to compare ourselves to others. The story will help us stay away from the habit. Do listen to it carefully and tell me who is happy. The Peacock and the Crow story. The crow lived in a forest and was absolutely satisfied in life. But one day, he saw a swan. The swan was so white, he thought, and I am so black. The swan must be the happiest bird in the whole world. He expressed his thoughts to the swan. Actually, the swan replied, I was feeling that I was the happiest bird around until I saw a parrot, which has two colors. I now think the parrot is the happiest bird in the creation. The crow then approached the parrot. The parrot explained, I lived very happy life until I saw a peacock. I have only two colors, but the peacock has multiple colors. The crow then visited the peacock in the zoo and saw that hundreds of people were gathered around to see him. After the people left, the crow approached the peacock. Dear peacock, the crow said that you are so beautiful. Every day, thousands of people come to see you. When people see me, they immediately shoo me away. I think you are the happiest bird on this planet. The peacock replied, I always thought that I was the most beautiful and happy bird on the planet. But because of my beauty, I am entrapped in this zoo. I have examined the zoo very carefully, and I have realized that the crow is the only bird not kept in the cage. So for past few days, I have been thinking that if I were a crow, I could be happily roaming around, flying around everywhere. Hope you like the story. Isn't that our problem too? We make unnecessary comparisons with others and become sad. There will always be someone who will have more or less than you have. Person who is satisfied with what he or she has is the happiest person in the world. We make comparisons like, I wish I dressed like so-and-so, or I wish I was so rich like so-and-so. This is often unconscious, but it's important to try to train ourselves to stop practicing that horrible habit. While it may motivate us to better ourselves, constantly comparing ourselves to others can lead to negative thoughts. Now, since it is the topic of the day, let's dig deep. Why do we compare ourselves to others? What do you think? Why do we compare? Human beings are social creatures, and comparison is common throughout our entire history. Social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they bombard us with posts about what we lack. These apps are comparison traps that invade our mind and kills our time and productivity. It's easy to forget that social media is the highest reel of other people's lives. We see their best moments, but we don't usually, witness their struggles. We often compare our lesser qualities with a person's best qualities, skewing our judgment. Too much of comparison leads to unhappiness and low self-esteem. We become frustrated with ourselves for not being good enough, or we become angry with others or ourselves. Some real life examples of comparisons. You see another woman walk on the street and you think, I wish I was as pretty as her. You do that, right? You see a celebrity, posting on Instagram about their workout and you tell yourself, if my body looked as wow as this, A co-worker is giving a presentation and you can't help saying that she is way better public speaker than I am. उसका टिफिन मेरे टिफिन से बेहतर क्यों? This list is never ending, right? Look friends, I totally understand that it is normal to watch that others are enjoying and judge yourself against that standard. That is because we humans are tribal and hardwired to fit into the community. And things have changed now drastically. We live in the world of communication. Everyone gets information about everyone else. There is universal comparison, and you don't just compare yourself with the people next door, not with your neighbors. You compare yourself with people all over the world. I generally find that comparison is a fast track to unhappiness. No one ever compares themselves to someone else and comes out even or happy. 9 times out of 10, when we compare ourselves to people who are somehow better than us, we end up feeling more inadequate. Let's start from today. A conscious habit of not falling for that trap. Let us not embrace anything negative in life, like hate, comparison, unhealthy competition, jealousy. I think these things are very heavy and it takes away from us the way of enjoying life. In fact, don't we all experience this? Happiness in the present is only shattered by comparison with the past. When we say, "Arey, wo bhi kya din the? Aajkal to ye, aajkal to wo." It makes us unhappier. So stop comparing. Feelings of jealousy, frustration, and hopelessness emerge if comparison continues. If left unaddressed, chronic anxiety and depression can stem from such behavior. So we shall together address this monster in the room called comparison, and trust me, it dwells in each one of our rooms. So worry not. We shall, in today's episode, together find ways to deal with it. If I were to ask you to open 2 novels and compare the circumstances of each protagonist, asking you to choose who is the better, you may find this ridiculous, right? You may tell me that, Megha, these characters belong to 2 different worlds, surrounded by different people. And they each have their own circumstances and life stories. They are traveling different paths. And they will traverse their paths at different speeds. Great. So as such, never again compare yourself to another one, because everybody has a different life path, different life story. Having said this, if you seek happiness and peacefulness, you must fight the urge to compare and instead train your mind to honor the special gifts, the unique talent and interesting blessings that make your life your life. No one alive today thinks quite like you or feels as you do and has the same configuration of strengths and abilities that you have. And every person you think has it better than you are dealing with things you know nothing of. Most human beings are splendid at presenting a brave social front, brave social face to the world each day. We know nothing of their private struggles. So let us cherish the good that fortune has sent on our way. Celebrate your days in sunshine and embrace the life you have worked so hard to create. Mark Twain once said, "Comparison is a death of joy." I cannot say this too strongly. Do not compare yourself to others. Be true to who you are and continue to learn with all your might, But we are always like, "I wish I could be like this. I wish I could do more like that, like so and so person." We are obsessed with being normal. But that's very boring. And you are extraordinary though. Promise me that you will stop trying to stop being you. Because comparison is the root cause of all evil. Why compare when no 2 people are alike? We are all different, the entire world. Billions of people, all with different traits and talents and circumstances and paths in life. Yes, there is one good comparison for sure. And that is comparison with yourself. Comparison with self brings improvement. Comparison with others brings discontent. Now you would say, but how to stop comparing, Megha? in my experience, we won't be distracted by comparisons if we are captivated by a purpose. And hence, winners compare their achievements with their own goals, The biggest way to fight the habit of comparison is to find your purpose, your passion, and the work towards it will keep you so busy that you'll not compare. Whatever your passion is, keep doing it. Don't waste time chasing success or comparing yourself to others. Every flower blooms at a different pace. Excel at doing what your passion is and only focus on perfecting it. Eventually, people will see what you are great at doing, and if you are truly great, success will come chasing after you. Virat Kohli once said, that the people you choose to have around you will make all the difference. My family and close friends keep me grounded. You have to make a mind of your own and a strong head on your shoulders. Cricket is the most important thing to me, so the rest, it pales in comparison. He found his purpose, his passion, that is called cricket. Similarly, we all have our own purpose and passion in life. If not, find one. And since I have quoted Virat Kohli, let me share what Sunil Gavaskar once said about comparison in a different perspective. He said this in one of the interviews. He said that comparisons are really no good in sport, especially if it is a comparison between different eras and generations. For there are so many variables that come into play, starting from the quality of opposition to the playing conditions, Likewise, you just cannot compare your life with some celebrity and feel sad that, oh, I don't have life like him or her. Come on. The reason we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. You getting my point? Remember the thumb rule that applies to one and all. Your story is unique and different and not worthy of comparison. Like we discussed earlier, comparison is the best way to judge our progress, but not with others. Compare your yesterday with your today. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. Because comparison is a slippery slope to jealousy. You definitely do not want to go there, right? Also, personality begins where comparison ends. Is there a comparison between the sun and the moon? No, right? They shine when it's their time. Why not catch hold of this song which says, Apna time aayega? Dear you, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Your unique self is empowered, powerful, and unstoppable. Your uniqueness is what makes you incomparable. Don't underestimate the beauty of just being you. Enough said and done. Comparison is an act of violence against yourself. So stop it. It kills creativity, and hence stop comparing and start creating. Kuch naya karo. Tell me one thing. Whom do you compare yourself with? Dimag mein kaun sa picture aa raha hai? And now also tell me, why compare our journey with someone else's? Your journey is your journey, not a competition. Enough of examples we have discussed to ensure that we do not fall for the rut and the trap of this monster called comparison. Now you would say, all right, I'll try staying away from comparing myself to others, but how to deal with it? What should I do to avoid this habit, Megha? All right, I have some tricks and tips. Number 1. Be aware of your triggers and avoid them. अब triggers क्या होते हैं? You improve your mental health and emotional well-being. List out the situations and circumstances that make you sad or cynical. Social media isn't the only thing that will make you unhappy or you will lower your self-esteem. There's someone in your life who often puts you down. Or maybe you feel inadequate in the when you talk to a classmate or a colleague of yours. They keep bragging, you feel sad about yourself. Perhaps there is a specific place that makes you feel bad, like wandering through an expensive store in a mall. Yaar, mere ko ye nahi posa raha hai. So stop going there. Once you are aware of situations that make you likely to engage in comparisons, you can take action to avoid them. Be it people or a place or a habit, just avoid. Very important, number 2, that is limit your time on social media. Social media keeps us up to date on our family and friends and current events and classmates, and it raises awareness. But like most things, it's best in moderation. Over scrolling on social media, especially when consuming lifestyle and beauty content, can have negative effect on your self-worth. So stop it. Limit it. Unfollow the accounts that cause you to compare yourself to others. Turn off your phone after a certain time of day and don't respond to people who always send across negative message or comments. Avoid them. Ask yourself if you could spend your time on social media more constructively instead. Could you read a book or go for a walk or maybe call a friend after a long time? Number 3, remind yourself that money doesn't buy happiness. There is a relationship between mental health and money. But one thing is true, money doesn't buy happiness. Despite being bombarded with ads that say otherwise, money doesn't guarantee a permanent happiness. Watching celebrities live luxurious lifestyle can lead us to believe that money will solve our problems, but it rarely does. Instead, it only buys temporary joy, and sometimes it multiplies your anxiety and the reasons to worry. After 3 points, the 4th and very important point is count your blessings. Gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. Someone's life may seem better, but there might be another person out there wishing that they had what you had. There's always something, even just one thing for which you can be thankful. Implement these strategies to fine-tune your gratitude practice. Number 5, use comparison as motivation. Comparisons can be a great catalyst for change. So as long as it's healthy, instead of feeling envious of other people's accomplishment, think about how they were able to achieve them. Then see how you can also replicate that. Being inspired by someone you know to be kinder or more open-minded can lead you to be a better person. 6th important point to avoid comparing yourselves with others is focus on your strengths. It's okay to be humble, but you should also be proud of what you have accomplished. Too much of humility is just as harmful as too much of self-confidence. Make a list of what you like about yourself. एक पूरा list बनाओ. I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. Writing things down can help us recognize and accept the truth instead of speaking it aloud. It can be a general or a specific or as you like, and let this list serve you as a reminder of your strengths. 7th important point is celebrate other people too. We often miss out on doing that. We are so obsessed with our own life that we forget to celebrate people around us. They do so much in life. Let's take that one moment out to appreciate them. We must be our biggest supporters, our own supporters, but self-advocacy can coexist with supporting others. Spread positivity by cheering your own friends and co-workers for their own milestones. Next important point is remember that insecurities are universal. It's normal for you to compare yourself to others. We all experience self-doubts and fears that get the best of us now and then. Even the most confident people feel insecure sometimes, so it's okay. Number 9, use your past self as a benchmark of comparison. These are some wise words from others that are sure to help spark that urge to stop comparing your life to others and appreciate your amazing self just a little bit more. There's a very famous saying, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You are original. We are all different and it's okay. Also, a very important aspect of why to stop comparing ourselves to other people is that we are original. We are all different. I don't want other people to decide what I am. I want to decide that for myself, said Emma Watson. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you, said Dr. Seuss. The bottom line, the only person you should be comparing yourself is yourself. Your effort should focus on growing from within, being kinder, more resilient, working hard, and being more open instead of, whether or not your hair is long enough, or, you are thin or smart or rich or someone else. The only real competition you have is who you were yesterday, who you were last month, or who you were a year ago. You'll be able to see self-growth through introspection, retrospection, and be proud of your own growth. This series is created to help us understand ourselves and take charge of our own lives. Clarity, purpose, passion, and the tools to go after what matters to you in real life. Through this series, we focus on human transformations, championing personal growth, social connections, mental fitness, all in the name of internalizing healthy self-care practices. If you are willing to put in some work, I am here to guide you through this crazy journey called life. So stay tuned and watch the previous episodes if not yet. Do not hesitate to buzz me on my social media that reads me as RJ Megha. And to end this discussion, let me share the best thing I came across. If the whole earth is infinitely small in comparison to the spheres of the stars, what are we in the comparison to these genuinely grand creations?